Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading for August 2023. This is going to be for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. Some of you may be here checking up on a Capricorn. If that's the case, know that your guides know that. So expect messages for yourself also. You know, this is the type of reading where you really want to let your intuition guide you. You know, don't try to make anything fit that doesn't fit, but I feel like in my readings, like if it's for you, it's very clear. Okay, let's go ahead and get into your reading. So we're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. I'm going to use the crystal vision to clarify or to go deeper. And for your main spread, I chose the Psychic Tarot. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start with Mother Mary. Give her a couple shuffles. Everything is pre-shuffled. I want to give a shout out to some of my members who are Capricorn. We're going live Sunday at 2, just in case someone didn't get my notification. Well, that didn't take long at all. Alright, I love this message. Watched over. You know, when you get this message, it's really your guides telling you to, you know, try to, I don't know, I get this feeling like try to enjoy your life more, but in a way that I feel like where you have spiritual, like your spiritual guides are backing you. They're helping you. Now, I feel like that's maybe for particular people, but I definitely felt that energy. So let's read what it says. Watched over. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over my loved ones and me. It's kind of what I was trying to say. I should have just read the card. And we'll read it from the book at the end of the reading. That's where it's really most profound. But it's going to come up through your main reading. So let's go ahead and begin with that. We're going to use again the Psychic Tarot. Pre-shuffled, but we're going to give it a couple shuffles. That was a good one. Alright, let's give them a cut. And let's get into this. Alright. Good shuffle for your cards. We have recognition and reward. Well, I like that. You know, it feels like there's someone humbled by the recognition they received, or the reward they're about to get. This feels good. Like this feels like you're receiving some type of, I want to use the word harvest. But I also feel like this is other people recognizing, you know, who you are and what you do in the world. We have, well, hello, memories of love. 6 of Cups. Let's bring this lid down a little bit. Not too far. 6 of Cups. Memories of love. This can certainly talk about, you know, someone of a younger time. This speaks about happy memories, though, really, is what it talks about, like happy and treasured memories. Maybe my head, you know, and I feel like it's planetary action has caused us, like, especially with Venus was in retrograde, I believe. And that can definitely affect, like, relationships or even the way I am in a relationship. Anyway, memories of love, recognition and reward. 3 and 6. Okay, wow. Interesting. 3, 6, 9. That we're going to take them as they came. Choose wisely. So we move from the 6 of Cups to the 7 of Cups. That means that there's some type of choice. I want to say that you need to make, but maybe you don't need to make it, but it's definitely presenting itself. 7 of Cups can be somewhat chaotic energy, like, you know, maybe I've chosen this cup before and it didn't work out, but maybe this time it does. We have, holy cow, rejoice in celebration, the Three of Cups. So a lot of water on this line, but also with a lot of recognition. And then we have solitude. This is the Hermit. And I kind of love this coming under, first of all, 369. Here it goes again, right? 369. It's like the universe speaking to us. But I feel like this is, you know, I feel like some of you are coming to this spiritual awareness, let's say. Like you're starting to look at your life in a different way, like from a spiritual being versus like just this humanness, right? And I feel like others are also looking at you because of that. You know, I feel like this is someone who is willing to go deep. By the way, 2 3s that are mirroring each other. Recognition and reward, and then rejoice and celebration. We'll take it. We'll definitely take that. You know, it's like part of the reward is because you've been through the dark night of the soul. Because you went into that cave and you were seeking clarity, answers, you know, building up your spirituality, building up yourself. Okay, we have a card over here. Let's take it. We have patience, temperance, your neighbor. This is about divine timing. You know, and everything happens in divine timing unless it's a free will decision. But is that even, that may even be divine timing also. You know, it feels like at this moment, it feels like someone, you know, I'm going to use the word had to go through, but chose to go through, because I feel like I want to give you recognition for the willingness to go deep, to look deep within yourself, to see, you know, what are the things that have been affecting my life, maybe in a negative way. What is it that I would like to ultimately bring into my life? You know, so in the energy of the Hermit, which is Virgo, by the way, we do have Virgo and Sagittarius side by side. But in that energy, you know, it's like because you dared to walk those steps, I feel like not just, you know, let's just say the human race, but also our spiritual, like your spiritual guides are also recognizing, you know, your willingness to do that. We have shadow. This is a card of Pisces, ruler of Cancer. Interesting, we have 3 major arcanas on this bottom line. We have 3 cards of water and now 3 major arcanas below it. And another major arcana, this is the Lovers. Card of Gemini. This is a head over heart decision. Do I follow my head or do I follow my heart? Depends what your head's telling you. You know what I mean? Because with temperance here, I feel like whatever this is that is potentially coming together, it's, you know, it's divinely coming together. You know, the moon under choose wisely, you know, it's called shadow here, right? Like, I can't be certain, right? I choose a cup and I cannot 100% be certain, but maybe I just need to trust. Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to trust my feelings. You know, I can't know everything. Maybe I'm not meant to know the ultimate destination because, why? It's about the journey. And there's free will. But we have the Lovers here. And above the Lovers, we have rejoice and celebration. We have the Emperor. called authority in this deck. You know, I feel like, man or woman, I feel like some of you have been on this course. And I feel like, or let's say chapter. And I feel like, well, I kind of feel like it was the last chapter, but maybe it's continuing forward. And I don't feel like it was easy. I feel like there's a lot of confusion. What do I do? Type of energy. I do feel like something has caused you to like go deep. And I do feel like you're being rewarded for that. You know, but I do feel like the need to go deep. The Emperor is someone who normally we would look up to. This is someone who does care about their fellow man. You know, this is someone who puts a plan in action or makes plans and then follows those plans. Another major arcana, by the way. 5 in a row. Holy cow. You may be seeing a lot of changes coming your way. But, you know, in no way do I feel like these changes are bad. I feel like they're good. But I also feel that there's a, you know, first of all, it does put the ball in your court with the 7 of Cups, right? You have to make a decision. You have to choose one of these cups. And beside that choice is memories of love and rejoice and celebration. So I do feel like you're going to make a choice or a decision. You know, and this, again, is about enjoying the present moment. You know, wherever it goes, it goes. But if I don't know. I just feel like if I use my experiences, which is turned into your wisdom, if you allow it, right? And I feel like that's part of what the Hermit's doing, is understanding that part of what I've been through, and I don't feel like it's been easy, is bringing you to a certain level. Sometimes it brings you down to your knees, but sometimes that's what we need. And then temperance is right beside that, though. So, you know, everything in divine timing. Again, I feel like some of you, it's like you've been working on yourself. You know, again, I'm thinking of the Emperor, someone I've normally look up to. You know, people would look up to. This could certainly be someone who is trying to better themselves. This is also beautiful energy for any type of spiritual type business, or any type of business where you are using your experiences to help elevate you or to help elevate others. All right, let's keep going. All right, we have the Chariot. Well, we're in the year of the Chariot. So this could be giving you a clue. Card of Cancer, by the way. Another major arcana, by the way. So now we have 6 in a row. Wow, that's crazy. And I'm telling you, when I shuffle my decks, I shuffle my decks because it's how it's part of how I meditate, and it's part of how I like open myself up as a vessel for you. So, you know, the Chariot is really about unlimited potential. But I also feel the Chariot is somewhat of a reward because I'm finding balance within myself. You know, if you look at the Chariot, you have, well, it doesn't show it here, but you have both light and dark. You have both masculine and feminine. And it's really, you have both good and bad. And it's finding that balance within yourself. And I feel like, just like it says here, recognition and reward, I feel like the Chariot is part of the reward. You know, so maybe I'm asking myself if this is talking about anything new. Because I'm not just feeling love, I'm also feeling like for some of you, like you're literally taking your experiences and you're putting them to work for you. And it feels divinely blessed. But then I also feel like this is talking about love. And this would say that, you know, if I'm thinking of someone, that it really does have unlimited potential. You know, but maybe I needed to see certain things about myself, because I feel like that's what I feel like here. I feel like you have been learning about you. And I feel like you've been putting a lot of energy on you, but in a way of so you can have growth. Chariot says, where do you want to go? Right under Temperance. So I definitely feel like this is talking about something that's coming together this year. I know we're doing August, so August may be like when I start to have that realization. And then we have patience and planning. This is the Seven of Pentacles. And that is the Seven of Pentacles lesson, is patience. For what? For your seeds of intention to come to fruition. You know, learning to nurture those seeds. It's interesting the shadow comes below that, because I'm feeling like, okay, I got to nurture those seeds, which means I have to water them. I have to allow them to get sun, but then we have the shadow above it. So that could be, you know, and then choose wisely, which is another energy that can feel, or can, you know, can be a little, I don't know if the word I want to use is chaotic, but I definitely have questions in my mind regarding choosing one of these cups. 2 sevens back to back. Alright, discontentment and boredom. 4 of Cups. And it's interesting because he's being mirrored by the Emperor. So, you know, that makes me feel even stronger that some of you have really, you know, I feel like you're trying to reach the Emperor's energy. That can be business ownership, that can be the boss, but I feel like really what you're doing is, you know, and all that probably applies, but I also feel like this is about you, you know, it's like moving from a boy to a man, going from a girl to a woman, right? It's my maturity level. I don't want the... Interesting, these are 2 4s. I just... Look at that. 2 4s, 2 7s. You know, normally in the 4 of Cups, someone's being handed a cup from the heavens. And, you know, that's Temperance or God, whatever you want to say. It's divine energy. But do I accept it? This person's back is to the world. Alright, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Foundation and achievements. Foundation and achievements. 4. Always about your foundation, making it as strong as possible. I feel like you've been through some changes, and that's what these major arcanas are about. But these changes feel like, even if some of them were difficult, they definitely feel like as you make these changes, they serve you. I feel like some of you also have been reflecting upon love. And it's interesting because above this, the Lovers is rejoice and celebration, and below the Lovers is discontentment and boredom. Alright, but let's just get into the crystal vision and let's go deeper. Let's figure out what all this is. Interesting, you have 2 3s anchoring the top line, 2 4s anchoring the bottom line. And in the middle, all major arcanas. Alright, start at the beginning, but we're going to read it as a whole. The 9 of Cups. You know, I feel like some of you have literally been through the dark night of the soul, literally have been going through some difficult experiences, experiences. And I do have to say, I feel like some of them are free will. But I feel like ultimately, you know, it's almost like if I look at the 3 of Cups, that can be the energy of like celebrating, but over celebrating. And that energy can end up in the 4 of Cups, right? So maybe I've like been doing a lot of drinking or what have you, and I noticed that it is getting in the way of potentially what can be. You know, the 9 of Cups is inner harmony. Finding that inner harmony within oneself. Coming over recognition and reward. I like that a lot. This is where you're beginning to love your life again. But I feel like your life is going to look different. For whatever the reason. Let's keep going. 2 9s. Could have been some deep reflection. All right. Let's see what all these cups are about. Memories of love. Choose wisely and rejoice in celebration. Well, we have the 7 of Wands. Interesting, because that is the energy of standing one's ground. But it's also the energy of feeling like I need to defend myself, fending off attacks type of energy. It is a 7. It's being mirrored by the Chariot. So I feel like because the Chariot, and by the way, another 7 beside it, I feel like, you know, if this is, let's just say, aggressive type energy, I don't feel like it's going to serve you any longer. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you need to stand your ground, but you also got to know, like, you know, when it's not worth standing your ground any longer. So it's interesting, it's coming over memories of love, the 6 of Cups. So it tells me that somewhere along the line, somewhere along the road, there must have been some type of love that maybe took a somewhat aggressive turn. Now, when I say aggressive turn, I don't mean like, you know, like battering and that type of thing. Hopefully not. But I do feel like this is saying, you know, I feel like Capricorn, what this is really saying is some things you got to let go of. Some things you got to let go of control. And you got to go with the flow instead. You know, you don't have to do anything. But I feel like, you know, if you're able to go more with the flow, especially if you've taken this moment to really reflect upon your life, like, how did I get here? Right? How did I get to this point where, you know, at one time people looked up to me and now maybe not so much, right? How did I get into this place of discontentment, right? When truly I have like this divine energy here. Well, maybe it's waiting for you. Some of you may be defending your independence, which is your right? If it's like that you want to stay in the 9 of Cups and you don't want to move, let's say, love-wise any further, that's certainly your right. But I feel like at the same breath, like, you know, like, I don't know, I just feel like this year, you really need to look at, you know, because I do feel like you needed to defend yourself. But I feel like What are you defending yourself against? And some of you, it can be like being single. And maybe that's the way you want it. And again, that's your choice. But I feel like if that's not the way I want it, then I want to look at this energy, because I get this feeling like I can push my way too much, where others become less and less receptive to me. All right, well, let's keep going. Six of Cups again. Now it's right over the Seven of Cups. So literally, you are now making a choice, a decision. You know, again, if this is relating to love, there must be some happy memories involved. Even if things went sideways, I feel like there still must be these happy memories. Because I feel like that's how you make your choice. That's how you make your decision. How does somebody make me feel? Do they make me feel worthy? Good. Good about myself. Do I deserve that? And if not, why not? There's somebody on your mind. You know, there's someone on your mind, and part of what may confuse you is like, I don't know where it's going to go. Well, maybe you're not meant to, again, know where it's meant to go. Maybe you're meant to, like, especially with the three, these threes, like, you know, enjoying each moment, you know, instead of like, you know, it's like enjoying the journey. Just knowing that, listen, if I put certain energy or I plant certain seeds today, then I know that's going to be my harvest in the fall. Nine of Swords. Fear. Interesting how we have two threes anchoring that top reading. Now we have two nines in the clarifiers anchoring that top line. Nine of Cups versus the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords speaks about worry. But it really is unnecessary worry. But it is worry nonetheless. You know, and then if you see what's mirroring it down here, the Four of Cups, discontentment and boredom. You know, I almost feel like if I decide I want to be, let's just say, in a relationship, then I know there's something that, and it may be like drinking. I've been getting that a lot this month, like people watching their alcohol intake. Or another way of putting it is like, as you make decisions, use your sober mind to make these decisions. Because I feel like that Nine of Swords coming over the Three of Cups, you know, if I'm trying to choose within that energy, I feel like fear is going to rule the day. So remember, the Nine of Swords is about unnecessary worry. We have the Six of Swords. And then we have the Hangman coming right over patience. The Hangman's like, all right. Patience you need, patience I shall give. You know, and under the Hangman is the Chariot. And again, movement, right? The Chariot always means movement. It can mean a physical car. But it can give you the way, you know what I mean, of moving forward. Now, let's look at this a little deeper, though, because, again, we have that Nine of Swords. Even though we have, like, I feel like there's someone who, you may think about in a loving way. Doesn't mean you show it. Again, with that Seven of Wands, I may be more aggressive than I really want to be. But it's telling me where it's coming from. It's coming from your fear-based mind. You know, it's like saying, well, things didn't work out before, so why would they work out now? You know, whether that be with the same person or it's someone completely new. But then the Six of Swords shows up over the Hermit, and I kind of like that. Because again, the Hermit, this is you taking a good, hard look at your life. And the Six of Swords means not only did you take a good, hard look at your life, but you found, you know, the things or the people that have become toxic to you, that have literally sometimes stepped in the way of our blessings. So I love that the Six of Swords is here, because this is movement. Not just movement, but realization. And it's interesting because Temperance is like, I'm not going to let you move forward until that is looked at first. There must be some importance, which, I mean, there always is, but there seems to be like real importance with you looking deep and looking at the things that cause you fear. You know, and again, it's unnecessary, but nonetheless, it's there, right? So Divine with the Hangman is like, we're going to keep things the way they are until, you know, until you've had this reflection. That tells me that your power within the movement of what's next, you know, it lies in your hands. Look at that. We have the moon over the moon. How interesting. You know, we just had a super full moon. And this could be talking about that for some of you. But the moon over the moon. You know, the moon can be very dreamy type energy. And it's interesting because it can talk about, first of all, the moon can also cause uncertainty, because I can't see. I can only see as far as the moonlight allows me to see, versus the sun where everything's illuminated. But again, maybe it's not meant, like everything's not meant to be illuminated, because I'm meant to like take it step by step by step. So, you know, I feel like there's a little bit of uncertainty, but I also feel like this is talking about very dreamy type energy. Again, the Six of Cups above that. Could certainly be a double Pisces or a double Cancer. Alright, we have the Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Magician coming over the Emperor. That's powerful. You know, that's the ability to manifest a good, strong, abundant life for yourself. That's the ability to really strengthen your own foundation. It's the ability to take an epiphany and turn it into a successful type business. What am I holding? The Magician. Following that Six of Swords, you know, so where I'm looking at what's been toxic, what's toxic to me, what is, you know, robbing my life of all that can be. And by the way, we have the Four of Pentacles here coming over the Lovers. This certainly again talks about your foundation, right? But this is the foundation over the Lovers. You know, the only thing that you got to worry about with the Four of Pentacles is sometimes we can hold on too tightly to the way that we think something should be. You know, it's sometimes not being open to other suggestions or even like these epiphanies. You know, there must be someone that's like something that's some type of fire that's burning within you. Don't be too rigid with your, well, what I want to say, with how things must be and how things must look. Because again, we have discontentment and boredom right below that. 2 4s. Alright, let's keep going. Excuse me. We have Justice. I'm telling you, your major arcanas are just off the chart. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 major arcanas. Now we have Justice. Justice. This could be cutting ties. With what no longer is serving you. This is you ultimately finding balance within yourself, within your life. You know, Justice can certainly represent a divorce. But it is cutting of ties. But whatever ties I'm cutting, I'm doing it so that I can have balance in my life again. I almost feel like I've just gotten out of control for some reason. And now it's like I'm coming back to center. Justice's job, when it shows up in a reading, is to make you whole again. You know, but you got to be willing to cut the ties that just aren't serving you. And that can be people, that can be addictions, that can be just elements, it can be anything. But it is so that you yourself are balanced again. And now it's coming over the Chariot, which is all about balance. Card of Libra. I don't know if I said that. King of Pentacles. Could be you. Another Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Doesn't have to be any of that. King of Pentacles coming over planning and patience. Perfect king for that. Some of you, I feel like, maybe life has changed. And maybe I didn't ask for these changes, but I feel like some of the changes are because of my own actions. And I just have to know that. I have to be real with myself. Because the only way I can have really good change is to see like what I have created. Now, that's not to put all the blame on you, but I do feel like some free will decisions like may have hindered some growth in your life. But now coming back as the King of Pentacles, I feel like this is getting grounded again. I often feel the King of Pentacles is a business owner. Or someone who's very good with their money. This may tell you, as you, listen, some of you may be starting a new job, you may be starting your own business. And I feel like as you expand, like, don't forget to save. Save at the same time. Well, there you are. So, card of Devil. Card of Capricorn, the Devil. Shout out to my granddaughter, by the way, Faith, who is December 26th. So, you're coming right over discontentment and boredom. It's like, it's almost like I can't deny that there's some dissatisfaction with my life at this moment. Then you have the Emperor again, but the Emperor's kind of like won't, like sideways. And then we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. Well, Seven of Swords I love seeing in reverse, because Seven of Swords is really untrustworthy energy. It's like the thief in the night. It's in reverse though. I feel like I want to look a little deeper at this corner over here with the Lovers. Now you connected directly to them. The Emperor again certainly can be a double Aries. We have 2 Aries, but I feel like this is more about who you're becoming. Male or female, by the way. And the 7 of Swords in reverse. So I feel like, you know, it's interesting because I feel like if it's talking about a love, and again, it would be someone that, I don't know, that I feel like I already think about. But yet, the 9 of Swords, the fear factor of it all. You know, maybe I'm worried that someone cannot be faithful. 7 of Swords in reverse would tell me the opposite. Maybe you're worried you couldn't be faithful. But the 7 of Swords again in reverse says yes you can. But I want to look a little more. We have the 8 of Wands. Interesting. Fast moving energy. Excuse me. Also what I think about I bring about. Especially with the Magician on the table. The power to manifest. The power of your intentions. You know, if I have negative intentions, then chances are, you know, I probably stay in this discontentment. But if I can cut the ties again to what's no longer serving me, what has or who has become toxic to me, if I can use my sober mind and not my fear-based mind, then I feel like my intentions change. You know, your intentions are 9/10 of the law. It is the seeds that you're planting. You know, and that's another lesson of the Chariot. It talks about how this chariot is controlled, not by the reins, by your intentions, by your mind. Your mind tells the chariot where to go. It is an 8. So I feel like it's talking about August. This can be fast-moving energy, no doubt. But I don't feel like anything here is not meant to not be here, if that makes sense. Whoa. What they call that in bowling? 2-10 split? I don't know. I know I've gotten a lot when I bowled. Alright, we have the Tower. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Interesting. Excuse me, guys. Interesting. Because I feel like... Let's just spread these apart a little bit. First of all, this is putting you right here in the mix. This is connecting you right to the Lovers. This is connecting you to your intention and what you can manifest if you choose. And you can manifest it quickly, I feel. Now, I feel like the Tower is talking about energy that has happened. Like there has been a tower. I feel like between 2 people. And it's disruption. You know what I mean? That's really what the Tower stands for, disruption in your life. A lot of times it's not something I ask for, but maybe it's something I need at the same time. You know, but then we go from the Tower to the Knight of Cups. Well, this Knight is about an unexpected cup of fulfillment. Page, or I was going to say Page of Swords. Page of Swords isn't even there. Okay. So, let's follow this Knight. We're kind of going backwards, but that's okay. Let's follow this Knight a little bit. 10 of Wands. The Wheel. Destiny. That feels good. The World. The next chapter. And then look at this, Capricorn. The Ten of Cups. So we start with the Knight, right? Unexpected couple fulfillment. Now some of you, maybe you bringing in this unexpected couple fulfillment. And I'm saying that because I feel like it's coming to who's ever in the Ten of Wands energy. And this is where I just feel like someone is like, you know, just carrying a lot of responsibilities. This can be energy of, I feel like it's too much. But I feel like this cup that this Knight is bringing in is helping to clear that energy, because then you have the Wheel next to it with the World right next to that, and the Ten of Cups. So let's start in the middle of this, which is the Wheel. Destiny. Now, just because something's destined doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You know, doesn't mean it doesn't have its challenges. And maybe that's exactly what we need to do, is figure that out and overcome these challenges. The World's about the next chapter, sitting right on your wheel. And then what does it ultimately produce? The Ten of Cups, the House of Harmony. We have the Nine of Cups here. We have someone who's on your mind. We have you needing to make a decision. I'm saying needing. You don't have to make a decision, but I feel like if I don't make any decisions, then I feel like I may stay in the energy of the Four of Cups. Again, discontent and boredom within my own life. I feel like the Nine of Swords definitely would play a factor here, right? A little bit of fear, but I do have to overcome that because, again, it's unnecessary. And what's causing the fear? Well, the Six of Swords is going to show you that, right? Especially over the Hermit. Looking deep. What's toxic to me? What can I change? How can I make my life better? Do I accept this cup when this cup comes in? Am I the one who's bringing this cup in? I feel like no matter how this cup is coming in through the Knight of Cups, it's helping to end the energy of the Ten of Wands. I feel like secretly when someone's in the Ten of Wands energy, it's almost like I want a tower to happen. I want something to help alleviate this energy because, you know, this is a time of heavy responsibilities or feeling like all the responsibility is on my shoulders. So I feel like this Knight is helping to alleviate that. But this Ten of Wands is also on the wheel. So whatever experiences and lessons were in the Ten of Wands, it's meant to be. Because it's helping me probably become a better me. Alright. It's like, why am I even taking any more cards? But I feel like, I don't know. Two Swords. Three of Wands. You know, I feel like with Two Swords and the Three of Wands here, this is saying there's two ways I can look at this. I can look at this with fear, right? The change that wants to happen, this new chapter that wants to open up. Listen, it includes the Ten of Cups for those who needed to know that. Now, can that change? Of course it can, because everyone has free will, and we cannot control another's free will as someone cannot control ours, so to speak. They can certainly try. Now, you did go from the Nine of Swords down to the Two of Swords, but there still means that there is a blindfold that you really need to take off so that you can see your life clearly. And then right next to that, it's like, I can choose how I'm going to look at this. The Three of Wands means I'm choosing an optimistic view. You know, I'm going to look at all that can be, and not all the fear of, you know, if this is talking about a relationship, step by step. You know what I mean? But I feel like if it is talking about a relationship with two Emperors here, like you want to come to the table strong within yourself. You know what I mean? Like you want to be someone that someone can look up to. I feel like that's important for you. I feel like that's important for you. Three of Wands says, I know my ships will come in. Whenever they come in, I'll be ready. Two of Swords feels like there's a giant monster out there. And as long as I wear that blindfold, that monster just grows and grows. And it's interesting because I feel like when the person in the Two of Swords rips off that blindfold, what they thought was a monster is like, I don't know, like a little teeny nothingness. So, starting with the Knight, Knight of Cups goes the whole way to the 10. That's the potential. Sitting on your wheel. Doesn't mean it was easy. You know, especially if this is talking about a relationship. Because again, it's like there is some heaviness. Two different 10s though. So what started as the 10 of Wands ultimately ends up into the 10 of Cups. But beyond that, I feel like I can't really give you more because the rest is like free will. Free will. Capricorn, this is a great energy for rebuilding your career. Starting your own business. You know, using your experience as what's going to help build this, feels like new life, so to speak. But it's also talking about love. And I feel like, you know, who? Well, I feel like the person already is in your heart. Doesn't mean things went good. Because the 7 of Wands over the 6 of Cups makes me feel like there's probably some back and forth type of energy. And that would certainly put a kink in, you know, the way that the potential that I can see. But again, this 9 of Cups being mirrored, or this 9 of Swords being mirrored by the 9 of Cups, I feel like, again, it's two different ways of looking at things. You know, if I'm always fearful, then I am limiting my opportunities. But even if I'm fearful, but I'm willing to take a chance, right? Take a leap of faith. I feel like that fear, because again, I feel like that big bad monster that you think is there, or illusionary type energy, I feel like when I take off that blindfold, I realize there is no big bad monster. So, not sure if this Knight of Cups is coming in for you, or if this is you coming in for someone else, because the Magician again. But ultimately, even though we're moving step by step, it's showing the potential, right? The potential of where this can all land. Can be something that lasts for the rest of your life. But in the same breath, it's like, you know, again, I want to understand, like, where do I need to, like, what do I need to look at so that as these major arcana start coming towards me, I can make the most of them. What's been toxic to you? Who's been toxic to you? What causes this fear to raise its ugly head? Because again, unnecessary. I feel like if it's talking about love, I feel like with the 7 of Swords in reverse, Listen, maybe it was in the upright at one time in your life, you know, untrustworthy energy. But having it in reverse, you know, and then over the Emperor, I feel like it's someone's growth. Like, I'm becoming someone that the world can look up to. And if it's not the world, it's someone, a person can now look up to, or my family can look up to. I'm becoming strong within myself again. I'm looking at the elements that really have truly held me back and could have even caused some disruption in your life with the Tower here. So I feel like the more you're able to look at you, and let's just say your experiences and your decisions, the more you'll have understanding of, you know, why you're exactly where you're at, and what can you do to make remarkable improvement, have remarkable events happen, right? Opportunities showing again. You know, I feel like the main thing is trusting in divine, but also knowing your power within that, right? Because you are the seed planter, and you can plant seeds that are not going to make it, but you can also plant seeds that can last a lifetime, eternity. It's going to come, you know, it comes down to you. All right, I think I'm going to let that be. But let's read Watched Over. You know, I think it's important that you know that you're being watched over and that you're being guided. You know, many times we turn off that guidance. You know, especially when I look at the Three of Cups over the Nine of Swords. It's almost like, you know, when I drink, my mind goes to this terrible place. Well, then what's the solution to that? Maybe not drink. Or maybe just understand that that's where my mind goes. And, you know, learning how to control that fear-based mind. All right, Watched Over. This card brings the message of reassurance of your safety and asks you to drop any defenses or guards that may currently be preventing you from enjoying your life. By relaxing into God's protective arms, you reduce your stress level in helpful ways. God, Jesus, Mother Mary, and the angels have heard and answered your prayers for protection. You receive their answers via your repetitive feelings and thoughts, which guide you along the pathway of safety. Keep your mind sober. Get out of here. I felt that. Keep your mind sober and open so that you can clearly pick up on these divine messages, and be sure to take action where they direct you. Capricorn. Some of you, I felt that. Well, for all of you, I felt that. So, I feel like the main message from Mother Mary is knowing that you're being watched over, that you're being guided, that messages are being sent your way, you know, and then it's up to you if you're going to pay attention to them or not. Sometimes, if we're in a fear-based type energy, we're going to, like, oh, I don't know if that was a message. Well, if you're unsure, ask him to send it again. And if you're still unsure, ask him to send it even bigger. You know, when you can learn to trust your intuition above all, life does become a lot easier. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. As always, I thank you. I love you. Thank you for your donations. It's what keeps this channel alive. I couldn't do it without you. And by the way, some people want to know where their donations go. First of all, upgrading my internet so that I have better connection. I hate to do that, but I'm going to do that. I'm putting it back into the channel is what I'm doing as much as I can. I was going to get a new microphone, but it's interesting. I knocked my microphone off the other day, and the last time I knocked it off, it bent the microphone. Well, this time when it fell, it straightened it back out again. So I'm kind of happy that it fell, because now I have a straight microphone again. But anyways, that's what your donations go to, is to help me. You know, I'm hoping to eventually buy a really good camera and sound system to really give you the best experience within the tarot. So that's where they're going. So thank you. Thank you. So much gratitude. I mean, truly so much gratitude. You know, if you're someone who can't afford donations, and remember, your tarot readers don't get a lot of donations, though we do a hell of a lot of work. This is work. But to me, it's very interesting work. But anyways, another way that you can help is by sharing it with your social media platforms, by watching the ads. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but it is true. You know what I mean? So however you do it, I thank you. And listen, even if you do nothing, I just thank you for being here. I welcome anyone who is new to the channel. And I thank those of you who have been with me. Some of you have been with me from day one. And you've seen the growth. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen the growth. But, you know, this is a beautiful soul family that we have created. And, you know, there's still more soulmates finding their way to us. So thank you for your memberships, by the way. If that's something you're interested in, you know, I have 3 different tiers, but I'm going to eliminate one. The first one is just a simple thank you, Sandy. It's $2.99. I don't know why I put it so low, because YouTube actually takes like 30% of that, believe it or not. And then I have, it's the second tier, but the third tier says we go live. We do that in the second tier also. This is where I try once a week, as hard as I can, to go live with you all, and you can ask whatever questions you have. And I give you messages from your guides, and you know what I mean? It's just it's a beautiful group of people, and everyone is welcomed. But it's ongoing guidance, and you know, you're not locked into anything. So that's another way. Anyways, enough about that. I thank you guys. I love you guys. I hope that this manifests for you. And I know for some of you it is going to manifest for you. I already know that. But for some of you, I feel like it's through your free will decisions and actions going to determine really where, you know, the potential of, do I reach this 10 of Cups? You're going to reach the wheel, because that is your destiny. You're going to reach the world. It's, especially with all these major arcanas, it's saying there's a next chapter opening up. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. But look what follows it. Again, the 10 of Cups. So, I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. Cannot wait to read your comments. I'm trying to think. I might do this one as a premiere. I haven't done a premiere in a while. But I would love to hear your comments, so I think I might. So again, thank you. I love you. And I will either see you at the premiere or next time at our table. Bye-bye.